Okay. So, generally speaking, you know, we like most shops nowadays, we do a lot of short runs. So, on short runs, meaning 5,000 or less, let's just say 4,000 or less. 4,000 and 8,000 an hour, that's only going to take you half an hour to run. Okay? That also gives you plenty of time to make adjustments on the fly if you need to. And if you're only going 8,000 an hour, it spends longer dwell time under the heating lamps. Okay? So the idea is you want to be able to back up really quick. Short runs, you want to be able to back up really quick. 4,000 nowadays would be a fairly long run. So most runs nowadays are about 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, something like that. So that's over pretty quick, 6 minutes and it's done. You know, you're just, you know. So if you slow the press down, it spends more time under the heater. You start out with your heater at 95%. You're watching your temperature. Once it gets to 42 degrees centigrade, then you start bringing the temperature down. And on a 4,000 run, you know, going at 8,000 an hour, you might have to bring the temperature down. On a 1,500 run, probably not. 2,000 run, maybe not. 2,500, maybe. You know, so you want to be prepared to lower the temperature as you're running. You're really kind of paying attention to this and making sure that it doesn't go over 42 degrees centigrade. Because once it starts going over that, it goes over it quick. So you want to push the icon that looks like a heater. Then you push the green button, and you see that the 5 is flashing. On a cold day, you're going to lower your setting to maybe 60 when you're at about 42 degrees. And on a really hot day, you might want to bring it down to about 40, and then you push the green button. And now the heater's only working at 40%. So on longer runs, and you know, during the course of like you have multiple SIGs, and you're pretty much just making ready, going, and you're pretty much running, and the heater doesn't have a whole lot of time to cool down. Just leave it at 40%. It should be warm enough, it should dry well enough to back up by the time you finish your last SIG. Okay? So, start out in the morning at 95, and then you watch the temperature and make sure that you're not going over 42 degrees centigrade. Oops, come on. Make sure you're not going over 42 degrees centigrade. And you adjust downward accordingly. If you're going really fast, you know, a long run fast, and you're running continuously, that heater's on constantly. While it's on impression, the heater is on. So it's on constantly. So you may want on a longer run, you know, hit 95. Once it gets to about 40 degrees centigrade, start bringing it down. Because main thing is you don't want it to hit 44 degrees centigrade, because then the unit overheats, and you'll see these errors down here. And if you turn the press off, if you stop your run, the heater may not come back on until that is cooled enough for the heater to come back on. And that would cause you to dry a lot slower. Okay? So ideally, you don't want to ever see those errors click on.
The optimum speeds for different
right.
runs.
So for slow runs, I'm sorry. For short runs, you want to run around between 8,000 and 9,000 an hour. So anything under 4,000, 9,000. You know, that's going to take you less than it'll take you 25 minutes to run it. You know, I mean, come on. You know, it gives you plenty of time to react to anything. You know, shorter runs than that, go down to 8. It gives you time to react. It gives it dwell time under the heater, helps it dry. There's no reason to run the press at 14,000 an hour for a 1,500 run. I mean, you know, it's just, where's the time saving? You know, you're not saving any time, really. And you're limiting how much movement you have to correct for any color variations, right? So ideally, you want to run slower on shorter lengths. Or if you're doing lots and lots of SIGs, then you want to go faster, you know.
And how fast?
Generally, if I'm running a lot of SIGs or long runs, I generally run around 13 to 14,000 an hour. There's no reason to max out the press. 15,000, max it out at 15,000. You know, there's no reason to max it out. There's no need.
Do you need to change air or anything?
Yeah, of course. We went over that as well. You know, for heavier paper and faster speeds, you have to increase air. Okay.